Imagine a life where your voice is stolen, where every word you wish to speak is trapped inside you, where a whisper of dissent can shatter your world, leaving you in a state of perpetual fear. This is the harsh reality for millions in Iran, a nation where freedom of expression is a distant dream. They live in a cage of silence, their cries for freedom muffled by fear and oppression, their dreams clipped like a bird's wings. Why is the world so silent? Why do we turn a blind eye to their suffering? Why are these stories not front-page news, demanding our attention and action? The answer is complex, shrouded in a web of political maneuvering and global indifference, where human lives are often reduced to mere statistics. This is not just about politics, it is about people, real people with hopes, dreams, and fears. Fathers, mothers, children, artists, and dreamers, all yearning for the fundamental right to exist without fear, to express themselves freely. This essay will delve into the heart of this crisis, exploring the depths of human suffering and resilience. We will journey together into the lives of those impacted, revealing the human cost of silence, the pain, and the strength. This is a call to action, a plea for awareness and empathy. This is a plea for empathy, for understanding the depth of their plight. This is about reclaiming the narrative and demanding justice, about giving a voice to the voiceless. The stories we are about to uncover are not easy to hear, but they are necessary. But they are stories that must be told, for in their telling, we find the courage to act. For in their telling, we find the courage to break the silence and fight for a world where every voice can be heard, where freedom is not just a dream but a reality. The human rights crisis in Iran is not a recent development. It has been a persistent issue that has plagued the nation for many years. It is a deep-rooted systemic issue, woven into the fabric of the nation's governance, affecting every layer of society. For decades, the Iranian government has exercised an iron grip on its people, systematically suppressing any form of dissent or criticism. This has led to a culture of fear and repression. The faces of those oppressed are diverse, representing a wide spectrum of the Iranian populace. Journalists, students, activists, artists, and minorities all find themselves targets of this regime. Their voices are stifled, their freedoms curtailed, they are silenced, imprisoned, and often, they disappear without a trace. Families are left in anguish, searching for answers. Their stories are chilling reminders of the fragility of freedom. Each face tells a story of struggle and resilience. Amnesty International reports a staggering number of political prisoners languishing in Iranian jails. These are not criminals, they are individuals who dared to dream. They are ordinary people who dared to raise their voices, to question, to dream of a better future. Their courage is met with brutal repression. The regime's tactics are brutal and unrelenting. The use of force is a common response to any form of protest. Torture, forced confessions, and unfair trials are commonplace. The justice system is often a tool of oppression rather than fairness. The international community has condemned these actions time and again, but the violations continue unabated. The world watches, but change remains elusive. Behind the statistics are real people, each with a story etched in pain and resilience. These are not just numbers, they are lives disrupted, dreams shattered, and families torn apart. Take Nazrin, a mother whose son disappeared after participating in a peaceful student protest. Her life turned upside down in an instant, leaving her in a perpetual state of anguish. For months, she searched tirelessly, her hope dwindling with each passing day. Every lead she followed seemed to end in despair, yet she couldn't give up. She received whispers and rumors of his detention, of torture, of a closed-door trial and a swift, merciless sentence. The uncertainty gnawed at her soul. Her tears flowed freely, a testament to a mother's love and a nation's cruelty, each tear a silent protest against the injustice she faced. Then there is Reza, a young student who dared to dream of a more open society. His aspirations were simple yet profound. He wrote poetry, sharing his verses in clandestine gatherings. His words were a beacon of hope for many. One day the authorities stormed into his home, confiscating his writings and dragging him away. His voice was silenced, but his message lived on. He became another nameless, faceless victim in a system that thrives on fear. His dreams were caged, but his spirit remained unbroken. These stories are not isolated incidents. They are the echoes of a society in turmoil. They are the norm, repeated countless times across Iran. Each face in the crowd tells a story of loss and resilience. They are a stark reminder that the fight for human rights is not a distant battle, but one that unfolds in the everyday lives of ordinary people. It is a struggle that demands our attention and action. Section 4: The Wheels of Power. To understand the human rights crisis in Iran, we must look beyond the surface. This is not simply a case of a government suppressing its people. It is about power. It is about control. The Iranian regime uses human rights violations as a tool to maintain its grip on power. By silencing dissent and instilling fear, they create an environment where opposition is unthinkable. This control extends to all aspects of Iranian life. The economy, too, is tightly controlled, with resources channeled to those loyal to the regime. This creates a system of patronage and dependence, further entrenching the power structure. But the regime's control goes beyond its borders. Iran's regional ambitions and geopolitical strategies are intertwined with its human rights record. By projecting an image of strength and unwavering authority, the regime seeks to solidify its position on the world stage. Section 5. The world is watching. Or is it? The human rights situation in Iran has not gone unnoticed. The United Nations, human rights organizations, and governments worldwide have condemned the regime's actions. Sanctions have been imposed. Resolutions have been passed. But the violations continue. Why? One reason is the complex geopolitical landscape. Iran's strategic importance in the Middle East, its oil reserves, and its role in regional conflicts make it a difficult player to isolate. Another factor is the media's often fleeting attention span. While the plight of the Iranian people may make headlines for a brief period, other crises and events quickly overshadow it. This lack of sustained attention allows the regime to operate with a degree of impunity. Section 6. Breaking the silence. The first step in addressing any crisis is acknowledging its existence. We cannot stand idly by while millions suffer in silence. The world must wake up to the human rights crisis unfolding in Iran. Spreading awareness is crucial. Use your voice, your platform, your social media presence to amplify the stories of those silenced. Support organizations like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, which work tirelessly to document abuses and advocate for change. Contact your elected officials, urging them to prioritize human rights in their dealings with Iran. Pressure can lead to accountability. Support independent journalism and fact-checking initiatives to counter the regime's propaganda and misinformation campaigns. Section 7. Hope is a seed we plant together. The path to change in Iran will be long and arduous. But amidst the darkness, there is always hope. The Iranian people, despite facing immense challenges, have not given up on their dreams of a freer and more just society. They continue to resist, to speak out, to demand their rights. Their courage is a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of oppression, the human spirit cannot be extinguished. We must stand in solidarity with the Iranian people. We must be their